Imagine a woman in ancient Alexandria, draped in a white robe. She walks through the corridors of the greatest library the world has ever seen. Her eyes shine like stars, charting the cosmos with a handmade astrolabe. She isn't just a teacher. She's the mind of an era, a mathematician, an astronomer, a philosopher, and her name is Hypatia. But one day she would be dragged into the streets by a mob, stripped naked, her flesh scraped off with broken pottery, burned, erased. Why? Because she dared to think. Let me take you back, to a time before the Dark Ages, to the city of Alexandria in Egypt. A city so brilliant, so enlightened, that its library held half the world's knowledge. And inside it was Hypatia. She was born around 360 AD, daughter of Theon, a respected mathematician, but Hypatia, she went even further. She didn't just learn from her father, she surpassed him. At a time when women couldn't vote, couldn't speak in assemblies, couldn't lead, she was teaching men. Grown men, senators, future leaders, sitting at her feet, listening to her decode the movements of stars, the logic of numbers, the beauty of the mind. She didn't marry, not because she didn't believe in love, but because her mind was married to truth.
One name, one story, one legacy that shaped the world. Welcome to Timeless Voices, where legendary lives come to life.
To wisdom. She wore her simple robes, drove her own chariot, and walked into lecture halls like a storm, and yet, as she rose in brilliance, the world around her was collapsing. The old gods of Rome were fading, Christianity was rising. But this wasn't the peaceful Christianity preached by Jesus. It was weaponized, militant. A church trying to seize power from philosophers and pagans, and Hypatia, she stood in their way. She was close to Orestes, the Roman governor of Alexandria. Some said too close. He was locked in a bitter conflict with Cyril, the bishop of Alexandria, two men, two powers, and in the middle, a woman. Rumors began to spread that she was a witch, that she bewitched the governor, that her teachings were dangerous, that her science was sorcery. The church couldn't attack Orestes directly, so they chose her. Because what's easier than destroying a man's reputation? Destroying the woman beside him. In 415 AD, during the season of Lent, it happened. A Christian mob, many of them monks, surrounded her chariot. They dragged her from it. Through the streets where she once taught freely, they stripped her, shattered ceramic tiles, and flayed her alive, bit by bit. Then they tore her body apart and burned it in a place called Sinoron. And the city watched, in silence. This wasn't just the murder of a woman. It was the murder of an idea, that knowledge should be free, that women could lead, that truth should not bow to faith. After her death, Alexandria's golden age collapsed. The library she once studied in, burned, its books, lost, her works, gone. And for centuries, so was she, forgotten, buried by patriarchy, by religion, by time. Until now. Today, Hypatia is seen not just as a martyr for science, but as a symbol of courage, of feminism, of intellectual resistance. Her story has inspired books, films, and movements. And still, most people don't know her name. But tell me, why do we remember Joan of Arc but not Hypatia? Why do we celebrate kings who killed in battle, but not a woman who dared to teach peace in a world of violence? Because Hypatia didn't hold a sword, she held a compass. She didn't shout, she reasoned, and maybe that's what scared them the most. In an age where knowledge was dangerous, where truth could get you killed, she stood up and paid the ultimate price. If you've ever been told you're too loud, too smart, too much, remember her. If you've ever been silenced, know this. Her voice echoes still, through every woman who speaks, every teacher who dares, every soul who searches for truth. Hypatia of Alexandria was more than a woman, she was light, in the final darkness before the fall. And they couldn't kill that.